How's everyone doing? How's everyone feeling after last night? Good? Okay. All right. Well, no, I really appreciate you taking the time to let me, talk a little bit about Atmosphere TV. I know we've got some potential advertisers in the audience. Some of you all stream Atmosphere at your restaurants, so thank you. So a lot of you are fairly familiar with Atmosphere. If you saw all the really cool content before I got here with all the cool stunts and snowboard videos and all those things, that's a cool glimpse of what we're doing here at Atmosphere TV. So I want to tell you a lot about Atmosphere TV, but I really want to focus it on what matters to you. We are performing incredibly well with QSR partners, and my only hope here is that you can get some really cool insights that maybe you can try something new and help bring more customers and increase same-store sales. So fair enough? Good. All right. So for those of you who aren't familiar, Atmosphere is basically just a television entertainment company. But we're replacing linear television all across America. And we're doing that at bars, restaurants, gyms, airport bars, doctor's offices, anywhere where there's a big screen TV and you want to be entertained for like 30 minutes to an hour. But what does it really mean for QSR and restaurant partners? So what keeps you up at night is really what we think about all day. And that's how do we increase your brand awareness, like LTOs or your app or your loyalty program? How do we increase foot traffic? How are we getting old customers to come back but also acquire new customers? And ultimately, how are we going to increase same-store sales? So we've been doing an incredible job of that, and I want to show you a little bit why. But first off, some insights. You can see some of the partners' logos that we work with, and some of you might be in the audience right now. But on average, we are increasing awareness by 73%. We are increasing foot traffic by 35%. Our cost per visits are anywhere from about 7 cents to 20 cents per visit. So incredibly low cost per visits. And ultimately, everyone's favorite thing to talk about is ROAS. So we're driving an 11x ROAS. So for every dollar invested in Atmosphere, on average, you should get $11 in incremental revenue back. Now, why do we think Atmosphere is working so well? I think I just want to take a quick step back and talk about how Atmosphere came to be. And it was really developed on an insight that the TV experience at home works just fine. I mean, there's a million streaming services. That part is another issue. But if you wanted to watch Stephen A. Smith yell at someone all day about who's better, LeBron or Jordan, for the millionth time, you can do that. It works at home. If you want to watch Judge Judy or depressing news or politics or anything that you want to watch works great at home. But where it doesn't work, and it makes absolutely no sense, is outside the home. So as you can see, these people here are not watching the TV because this experience is just not suited for the environment. So outside of live sporting events, which we all go out and watch at bars and restaurants, Atmosphere has really solved the problem of the broken linear experience. So we create awesome TV that you can watch in this environment. So what you get is 30 channels of amazing content, whether that be you like amazing feats. We have Atmosphere Sports Channel, which is just the highlights, the good stuff, the dunks, the touchdowns, the home runs, like SportsCenter used to be when I used to watch it every night. Not people talking about sports. We've got surf videos. We've got snowboard videos, ski videos. We've even got adorable puppies, which is my favorite channel, Pause TV. If you've seen it, you may have seen it. It's definitely a fan favorite. So our mission really is to entertain the masses and to make people 10% happier through just the best video content. So we like to say that we are pioneering the last frontier of television. So we are providing intentional viewing in these new environments. So if you want to see inspiring fitness content at a gym, it fits really well there. No one ever went into a gym or a bar and said, like, hey, do you mind turning on Judge Judy right now? I really need to catch up on it. No offense to the judge, but yeah, hopefully she's not in the audience, probably not. Yeah. So we're trying to provide intentional viewing across all these different venues. So the way Atmosphere works is it's a free ad-supported TV service. We send you a device, So think about like an Apple TV puck. You plug it in to your TV at your business, and you get to choose from 30 channels of premium content. So I mentioned Atmosphere Sports, great for a sports bar. Atmosphere Now, which is like current events or movies or entertainment, not depressing news. We've got Chive TV, which was one of our first channels, and it's just all these like amazing, cool videos, viral videos, creator videos. It's all meant to be really just fun, exciting, uplifting, and it's all relevant viewing for that environment. We curate it weekly, if not daily, and so it's 100% brand safe, whether you're in a McDonald's or a pediatrician's office or at a bar at 2 a.m. So it's definitely working to the tune of 150 million viewers across the country, and we are doing that across all these different types of venues that I've talked about. So restaurants, we're in thousands of family restaurants, QSRs, McDonald's, Burger Kings, Taco Bells. We're in bars, sports bars, we're in gyms. We're also at airport bars, so I know a lot of you, I think we're pretty much in every major airport, so if you stop to grab a beer or a burger, you might catch Atmosphere TV. And in this process, we've really become kind of one of the largest FAST networks in the country. So, you know, I know this isn't, it's not an apples to apples comparison with a lot of these different companies, but I think there's some huge value to the QSR industry. So one, our ads are in stream. So the content runs, and then there's an ad break where your ads are not skippable, and we design them specifically for that environment. Number two, I've heard some really cool insights or maybe some challenges over the last couple of days in that, you know, someone's told me that their biggest competitor is the couch. Someone told me their biggest competitor right now is the fridge. So the value of Atmosphere for QSR partners is that these are active and immediate consumers. You don't have to motivate them to leave their couch. They've already left. So that, I think, is the key of why we're seeing such success, and we're seeing success quickly of people seeing Atmosphere, seeing your ad, and going right in. So in this process, we've really created this new scale. Whether that be through iSpot or Nielsen, we're seeing tens of millions of incremental viewers. So these are users that maybe you're not reaching at home or at CTV or even YouTube. We've created a new lane, so intentionally marketing to people in these environments. I've seen linear TV commercials in these environments, and sometimes it's like there's all these celebrities and it looks awesome, and I have no idea what's going on. And I don't know who the brand is, and to this day I still don't know. So we help you design commercials that are specifically, that can be understood and can be enjoyed in these environments. We've developed new solutions. So whether that be contextually targeting and sort of reimagining what that looks like, to moment targeting, to lastly, proximity. You all have restaurants. We want to get as close as possible so that we can drive people in. So a great example of contextual targeting is, you know, I've worked at multiple companies, and a lot of times people think of a fitness enthusiast as maybe you clicked on a men's health or a women's health article, and you're immediately doomed a fitness enthusiast by like 100 different data partners. But a real fitness enthusiast laces it up and goes to the gym, especially this January when the gyms will be absolutely packed. So if you want to reach an actual fitness enthusiast with your protein message or your calorie message or your healthy ingredients, we have 7,000 gyms across the country. Moment targeting, reaching people in thousands and thousands of offices, co-working spaces where people are sitting and watching TV and deciding where we want to go to lunch. We can reach people at happy hour. Gen Z, millennials, I know they're not drinking as much these days, but they are going out to happy hour, they are out and about, and maybe they want to decide if they want to get a value meal down the street after they've had a few drinks. And I think the most exciting, and what's been really performing the best, is really aligning with live sports. So Atmosphere shows up directly next to the biggest moments in sports. It's a great complement to live sports, whether that be our sports channel or our content. And we are streaming during even the Super Bowl. So think about college football, the Super Bowl, NBA, WNBA, March Madness, even the upcoming World Cup, where like tens of millions of people are going to be coming from all around the world to pack bars and restaurants. We're going to be right there. So we are an amazing side door into live sports, and the performance is absolutely incredible. So You can see in this example, DoorDash is taking huge advantage of it. They do a lot of sort of custom sports creative to align with college football and the NFL. But ultimately, we can reach pretty much any audience that's out and about. That top right image, there's a QSR restaurant that I go to, it's kind of like a fast casual down the street, and it's just like seas of kids that are glued to the screen watching Chipe TV. They're all huge smiles on their faces, the parents are happy. So we can reach millions and millions of moms and families. We can reach Hispanic audiences and translate your commercial into Hispanic or into Spanish. So we know exactly where these audiences are, and we can find them in these unique new places. And we can do that directly next to your restaurant. And sorry, it looks like I'm running out of time here, so I'm going to move quickly. But most of Atmosphere venues are within 1 to 3 miles of your QSR restaurant. And I've talked about proximity, I've talked about context, but I really wanted to show you some of the creative. So we can take a national creative and really localize and personalize it. So this is what we did with Pepsi to really hone in on localized fandom. Okay. So what we did here is we wrapped it with a frame and matched it with their custom creative because they partner with specific teams. They really wanted to embed themselves with local fan bases. So we can run a Steelers creative in Pittsburgh and an Eagles creative in Philly. Now, you do not want to run the Steelers creative in Philly or Cincinnati. It would cause big problems. We'd get a lot of complaints. So let us help be your creative agency. Let us design custom bespoke creative that is localized and targeted to that specific audience. We also have a lot of partners that are like, hey, my voiceover is really important to me. I'm trying to tell a story here. So how are you going to solve for that? Because the sound might not be on. So we can actually take your voiceover and embed it into the fabric of the video. And it still tells your story, it's not disruptive, and it's still very visually attractive. Now, you can see this guacamole looks absolutely delicious. It still costs extra. But if you do want to get that guacamole, we can go one step further, and we can wrap it with a frame and show you exactly where to get it. It's 0.2 miles away, and the address is in the lower right-hand corner. So in conclusion, sorry if I'm going a little over, but I wanted to talk about one of my favorite case studies because my team worked on it, and it was Jack in the Box. And again, they said late night, with their late night menu, their biggest competitor was the couch. You're watching the Lakers, Dodgers, or Yankees, and you see that Jack in the Box commercial, but you're like, I'm going to bed, or I'm going to the fridge. So they said, why don't we partner with someone or a company that can help us reach people who are already out? So they partnered with Atmosphere. And our amazing creative team came up with this awesome menu creative from scratch to show you where else can you get an egg roll, a churro, a breakfast burrito, and a sourdough jack at 2 a.m., but Jack in the Box. So we nailed the creative. We only targeted bars. We targeted within the hours of, I think, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. to make sure when their late night menu was available, and only within 2 to 3 miles of the Jack in the Box. So the results were a 36% lift in foot traffic. We saw a huge spike within day one. And the first few days usually see the biggest increase. And I actually was at MediaPost last year and saw them present this case study. And I was super excited. And so we asked them, can we submit this for the Think LA Idea Awards? And they said yes, and we ended up winning. So this is kind of how we think about helping QSR partners. Hopefully we can partner together someday and increase your foot traffic and sales and maybe even win some awards. So thank you all so much.